Okay, guys, we're going to do this review lesson together. Unfortunately, there is not, there's a bunch of this I cannot do with you because I obviously can't put a protractor or a compass on here. Hopefully you can figure this out. If you look at number 1, you're going to draw a circle with a diameter of 3 inches. So I can remind you that if they want a diameter of 3 inches, when you set your protractor, you're going to set it at 1.5 inches. Remember that? Because your protractor is set at the radius. All right. And then you're going to divide it into 3 angles. Remember that, I'll just draw one freehand. You'll put a center circle and then, dot, and then take your protractor, make a straight line. Set your protractor on this being your bottom. And you're going to measure 110 degrees. You're going to go around to get to about 110 degrees. And then measure it here. And then you're going to put this on the bottom. Measure your protractor to about 75 degrees, maybe somewhere around here. Okay. And I'm just guessing. So once again, just like the other lesson, I'm totally guessing. And then maybe this would be the 175 degrees. On this one, on number 2, you're going to have to measure your angles. So AOB, remember O is the center dot, the center of your circle. So AOB is this one. So put that one on your protractor. And remember, take your straight lines and extend them way out. I'm doing this freehand, but don't do it. You make straight lines with your protractor. Extend these way out. Because as you can see, that's not a straight line. And that way, when you set your protractor on it, it'll go straight through your protractor and you can get a more accurate measurement. And then put those measurements down. Draw a circle graph. Remember to round off to the nearest whole percent and whole degree for class secretary. Alright, I can do the work with you here, and then you're going to draw it. And I would definitely draw it on another piece of paper because they don't give you enough room to do it properly. So, Emily got 12 votes. Joy gets 8 votes. Hillary got 5 votes. Is that 5? Yeah. Hillary gets 5 votes. Okay? So, what we need to do first is figure out how many total votes were cast for these girls. So, go ahead and add 12, 8, and 5. Did you get 25? Alright, so we have 3 girls, and they all got a certain amount of votes out of 25 votes. Emily got 12. Joy got 8. Sorry, I'm yawning. It's getting late. And Hillary got 5. Alright. The only one I think we can reduce is this one, which will reduce to 1/5. And that makes that easy because I know right away that 1/5 is 20% because we've memorized that. The other 2 you're going to have to divide out. So you're going to have to do 8 divided by 25. Take it out till it ends. That one will end. And then you're going to have to do 12 divided by 25. And then take it out. If it goes more than 2 places, take it out 3 places after the decimal. And then round it up to 2 places. Okay? Alright. So you're kind of on your own that one. So after you get your 3%, then you graph them. You'll make a circle. Put a thing in a circle. Make a line. Measure the first one at 20%, somewhere around there. Then the next one and the next one. You'll have 3 different circles. And you probably, 3 different angles. And you'll probably want to write their names in there too. So you'll write Hillary. You'll write Hillary 20%. Okay? All right, let's write the formulas real quick. The area of a triangle. All right, I'm going to do it a little bit backwards and they have you memorize it. Remember, base times the height. So we can do what we would do for a square or rectangle or parallelogram. Base times height, and then you half it. Perimeter of a square, you pretty much just add up the sides, right? But the official formula is 4 times the sides, or side times the 4. It doesn't matter. Circumference of a circle is the pi times diameter, or you could also write pi times the radius times 2, because if they give you the radius, you have to double it. Area of a parallelogram is just the base times the height. Area of a rectangle is pretty much just base times height, but they call it, did it again. They call it length times width. Area of a circle, pi times the radius squared. The perimeter of a rectangle, that's just the distance all the way around it. You could just add up the sides, or you can do 2 times the lengths, because both lengths are the same, plus 2 times the width. So that's the official formula. All right, get the next page. That's not it. What about that? Yeah. All right. Complete this chart. Ooh, that's blurry. If necessary, round to the nearest hundredth. All right, so our radius is 4.4. So if we want the diameter, what do? Just double it. Hopefully that's what you said. 8.8, right? Feet. Let's do all of these first, then we'll do circumference and area. So if the diameter is 6.5, to get the radius, you half it. Half of 6 is 3. Half of a, is that a half? Let me look at my books. I can't even read that. Yeah. 1/4 inch. The radius is 17 yards. Let's double it. 34 yards. Remember when I used to make you double things before you went home, or half them? I'm missing school. Okay, I was in the classroom today and I almost cried. All right, so diameter is 5 feet. Half of that, half of 5 is 2.5 feet. Now we can figure out our formulas. So for circumference, let's just write it right here. It's pi, whoops, sorry. Actually, I gotta write it up here. Circumference, and get my equals pi times diameter. Area equals pi times radius squared. All right, so let's do this one. Circumference is pi times diameter. So you're going to do 3.14 times 8.8. Do this on your paper with me. Throw it together. 2, 11. You can holler at me if I get a number wrong. 2. Oh, these are all going to be the same because it's 88. 2, 3, 6, 7, 2, 3 after the decimal. 27,632. We're not going to keep the 2. We're going to say, well, what will it do to that 3? It'll keep it the same. So we're going to say 27.63. It's very common not to go much further than 2. Oh, and you know what? I did not leave myself enough room to write. They don't give you much room, do they? 27.63 feet. Now we'll do the area. The area would be 3.14 times the radius squared. So go back to the radius. The radius is 4.4. I have to square it, which is 4.4 again. So 16 and 17, and that'll just repeat because it's 4 again. Did I get that right? Let me look at my book. Yep. 19.36. So I'm going to actually put the 1936 first because it's bigger. It's got more numbers. Times pi. Alright, this is kind of big, but we'll do it. 24, 14, 37. Am I right? I don't have you next to me telling me I made a mistake. Gabe usually catches my mistakes. 6, 3, 9, 1. And then 18, 9, 10, 27, 28, 5. I'm not going to look at my book till I finish. See if I got it. 11, 19, 17, 6. And I got 4 places after the decimal. That 0 does not round that 9 up. So I should have 60.79. Yay, I'm right. 60.79 feet squared. I think I'm going to let you do the rest of these on your own. The only thing I want to do is make sure you do radius squared for all these. So for B, it's 3 1/4 times 3 1/4. Easiest thing to do is make these into improper fractions. There is no cross canceling. So now you have, what's 13 times 13? 9, 3, 3, 1, 169. You get 169. I lost it. There we go. 169. So you get 169 over 16. Now what do we do? Well, I do believe we're going to do 3 1/7 for this. What do they do? Let me look in my book and see what they do. Oh no, they converted it to a decimal, which is probably easier. So, nix that. 3 1/7 is the fraction equivalent of pi, but they're going to change 1/4 to a decimal, which is 3.25. And in all honesty, this is probably easier. So if they're going to square 3 1/4, they change it to 3.25, and they get that answer. And then they multiply it by pi. 17 squared would be 17 times 17. That's a little easier. 2 1/2, that would be 2.5 times 2.5. And then after you get those answers, you're going to multiply them by 3.14, all of them, for the circumference. I mean, for the area. A little tedious, but you can do it. Don't forget on C, you can't do this problem as it is because there's nothing right here. So you're going to borrow from the 4. And bring it over as, I can't really see that really well. Is that a 9th? Yeah. So you're going to bring it over as 9/9. And then you can subtract it properly. This guy changed to an improper fraction. Let's see how you do these rounding, these story problems on your own. I'm going to do this one with you because I know we have problems with these sometimes. And then I'm going to let you know. All right, so a 5.7832 10,000ths. All right, so the first thing to do is round it to the nearest tenth. What number is in the tenth in this number? Well, the first place after the decimal is the tenth, then the hundredths, then the thousands, then the 10,000s. So this is the tenth right here. So you look at the number after the 7. That's an 8. We'll round 7 up to an 8. So your answer is 5.8. You don't need to write the zeros after it. Now we have to go to the hundreds. The 8 is in the hundreds. The 3 is not going to do anything to it. So we can just write 5.78. Then we have the thousands. We have the 3. The 2 isn't going to do anything to 3, is it? So we're going to write 5.7. That's it. Do that to the other two. Any questions? You can call me. I wanted to mention I can put biographies on the grade table along with your reading books. Biography that looks like it would be interesting. I put them in order of difficulty. The left side of the right is the hardest. But you can put whatever you want. You can read either in a week or two. We're going to start reading those.